What's going on, Ultra Buddies? Huge news today. They revealed more details about the color system and especially about boost cards. So we're excited to get into it with you all. We're just going to cover what is in the video really quick, and then we'll discuss what we think about it and how we think it'll impact the game. So first, there is the color system. There is going to be 5 different colors: red, blue, purple, yellow, gold, or green. And we see Douglas there. So
Yeah.
fun sneak peek for people. And the way the colors will work, each color represents something, right, Gunkun?
Yeah. So at least with the video, red is going to be more like BP up type of effects. Blue will be draw related effects. Purple will be BP down related effects. These aren't set in stone, as we'll see with some of the boost cards they've already revealed, but is a good general sense of like the type of power or like card styles you'll see with those respective colors.
Yeah, I think this will be like a nice thing for if you see, oh, my opponent has red cards, then I kind of know the general strategy that they might be going for. So that will be cool. We'll learn about more about the colors in the next one. Last thing is BP09 will only have starter deck, and BP09 will have the first 3 colors, and we'll be getting some other colors later. Boost cards. Boost cards, the big ones. We've got the new card effects. Do you want to read one and I'll read the other?
Yes.
Read. We'll translate them for you if you don't know what they are.
Yeah, so the Fuji card on the left here for Ultraman. If you have an Ultraman, basically by paying its cost, you will be able to take one of your Ultra Heroes and for that turn, give it a BP grade up of 2 specifically.
That's a big boost. Okay, and for the charm, it's if you have a Cosmos, you can do one of your Cosmos or Leaderess, and you can have that battle be a tie for the turn, which is a crazy powerful effect. But we're not here to talk about the effects so much just yet. We're talking about what the heck the cost means and what the notches mean. So the cost and the notches means you have to pay 3 of something, and each notch represents what you need. So for Fuji, it's going to be 2 colorless and 1 red, and then for the stone, it's going to be 2 colorless and 1 blue. And how do we pay that cost exactly? Well, let's play the video a little bit and watch what's going to happen. I think they don't show it actually here, but what you'll notice is there's these face down cards on the field, and that's actually how we're going to be paying the cost. So let's talk about the ways that we're going to see boost being played. First is the draw step. Can we explain what's going on in the draw step, Gunkun?
Oh yeah, so in the draw step, if you watch the video, you have the opportunity to play a boost card into the boost area. And when you do so, just like when you play scenes, you can draw a card. So you will be able to recycle your hand, and now you have a very powerful boost effect on the field. But your opponent knows you have this out, but hey, it's recycling a card. We've seen a lot of decks where that ability is really useful for just getting things.
Absolutely. So now we're going to see we're paying the costs for the card. It's saying we need 2 colorless, we need 1 red, and that's how we're going to pay the effect. Remember, we can play them from the hand or the boost area. So the way we do that, 3 cards, at least one of them is red. They're going to be flipped face down, and now we're going to be able to activate the boost card. So that is how it works. And I think that's pretty much everything the video covers. But it's a lot of news. It's a lot to think about. And I don't know. I don't really know where to get started. Do you have any first thoughts?
I mean, it's really interesting now. Now we have like this resource mechanic that we haven't really had in Ultraman before, with maybe the exception of charge. You have this mechanic where you've accumulated resources, and probably turn 3, turn 4, you're now using them. They remind me of, I guess, Counterblast in like Vanguard, where you trying to use these resources. You get some really powerful plays, like in this case, double BP grade up at any point. Really powerful. Like here, it's just a single Ultraman, but it can easily become a 17K. And we didn't do any card reveals, I guess, but there's been some triple Rs already revealed where you can make these singles even stronger using the boost cards.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm pretty excited about it too. It's the first time we've we've gotten this kind of resource, and I think that it's going to be a big deal because if you're able to kind of hold out and not use your boost cards, then you're going to have a big advantage based on how these cards are. And I think that's not a dynamic we've necessarily had in the game quite yet, of like a resource that you can use that is gone forever, other than cards in your hand.
So actually, if we pause on this field here, I don't remember. Maybe go back a few seconds to see what your opponent had. Actually, this is perfect. You can kind of change the pace of the game with boost cards. Like in this case, normally playing a single like this, you would not think of this board as being something that could just aggressively win turn 3.
Right.
But now with the new cards here, you like the triple R on the right. I don't think we really revealed or talked much about it, but on play you can give any ultra hero plus 2,000 to make something a little stronger, and you have 3 resources or cards you can flip over here, and by playing the Fuji card, now you have a 19k in lane 3, and you can be very aggressive and close the game early. So you're gonna have to keep that in mind when playing against a deck with a lot of boosts.
Right. And I think that maybe one of the most interesting things for me about the mechanic of boost, if we can go back here, is this a boost area, right? At every turn, I believe it's once per turn. I would imagine it's once per turn. You get to play the card in the boost area during the draw phase, and you can draw a card. So like scenes, they kind of make your deck a little bit more consistent in a way, but that's not really what's important. What's important is that you have this choice of showing your opponent, hey, I got this card. You gotta watch out for it. But if you don't want to do that, you can keep it in your hand because we can play boost cards from the hand. So your opponent might be looking at that unsuspecting single and be like, oh, I'm totally safe. There's no way I lose this turn. And then just kidding. Now you're losing. And that's really only a feeling you've gotten before from playing against Rosso Blue, I would say.
And I mean, the trade-off here is kind of really crazy because, like you said, you can just keep it in hand and then just go for the win. But sometimes you just need an extra card. Like your hand doesn't really have anything. Okay, you give up that information. You get to draw another card. And potentially that might be the level 3 you need. And now your opponent just has to play on the defensive. Or like if you have the board here and they see you level up a bunch of things, well, okay, they have enough cards probably to activate Fuji. Then if I'm playing Kaiju here, all right, he's going to BP grade up everything. I need a lane that's going to... Actually, this is very difficult to survive because he has also plus 2,000 from the Ultraman character. You have to just... You're forced to go all in, and then if you're a deck that also can survive, you'll be able to force your opponent to be in a tight spot because you don't have to use the boost effect. The existence of it is going to put a lot of pressure.
I think that's going to be the scariest part is being able to pressure your opponent into it feels a lot like way back when I think we were playing like Rosso Blue versus maybe Izikari, where it's like both of us are really trying not to use our activate effects because they cost cards from hand. And so the person that can get away with like being next player usually, and like you have to play your cards because you have to respect that I have my card. You have to respect that I have the option to do this and win. But if you do that, I don't actually have to do anything. And it kind of snowballs in one direction. I think we'll see that a little bit more. So I do think this is a huge buff for next player, which arguably didn't need more buffs. I do think it was generally the stronger position, especially if you had a lot of activates. But man, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a new dynamic, and a lot of people are going to get got, I think.
I think that it's... My guess is like the first month or so of play with this, people are going to need to get used to that. If you look at that board, it's very easy to see a single and think, oh, I'm safe. I don't have to level up. Yes, no, you're going to have to be able to survive a 19k in lane 3. So if you're not winning both, lanes 1 and 2 strongly, Ultraman's just going to knock you out in game 3.
Yeah, and the scariest part is that like it could just be a single on the field the whole game, and it has that threat now oh, it could just become 17k, 19k, whenever. Or if you're playing a deck with level fours combined with Ultraman, that oh, that could just they could just level up a level four and make it 20k whenever they want now. And it's like it's just scary to think about.
And like the closest thing we've had in terms of a resource building mechanic is charge. So Blazar, you can see like when Blazar has like 4 charges in reserve, you're playing on your toes, trying to make sure you're dodging and unlikely, but trying to outlast their charge resources. Here, unlike charge, it's a lot more straightforward and simple to build up charge. Granted, not every card is going to have a color to it. It looks like I see a lot of level 1s, level 2s. I mean, I've seen level 3s with colors. I just know the Scene Search doesn't have one. But since you only need, at least for the boost cards we've seen, 1 red card, then it's pretty easy to hit, assuming you have a triple and a double. Now, maybe we'll see stronger boost cards that have a higher cost from like maybe a 4, or maybe they have a tighter mana cost, if you want to call it that, where they need 2 notches of red or 2 notches of blue.
I think for sure we'll see that stuff in the future. I think it gives them a lot of more design room out of just like, oh, you played a scene card on this specific turn. So I'm excited to see what they have to do. Although I do feel like, at least to me, it feels like a little bit of like scenes, but better. Since they do the same thing of replacing themselves in the hand, you don't need to have lead player to be able to use them actually way better, probably from the next player perspective. So yeah, I don't know. It's going to be a lot of fun getting used to this stuff, and I'm curious to see if we'll like really when. I don't know, I want them to read qualifier information to see if BPO9 will be like our first qualifiers. If people have to really scramble to get used to this stuff.
I mean, it's likely we will have. It depends on which region, which country, or which area you're in. But this is coming out in, I think, end of October, right? So
something like that.
The next set will probably be February, January, like last time, which should cover a good chunk of the regionals by
that's
January.
That's true. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. So I think that's pretty much all my thoughts about Boost right now. I think I'm a little hesitant about how good it makes next player. I think next player gets a huge buff from these cards. But who knows? Like some scene cards are still just like out of this world, like Scarred. That's worth getting lead for. But let's talk about colors a little bit, because we didn't really dive into that. Do you have any thoughts about the color system in general?
So I like the color system in that it's a little more intuitive, where, oh, I see a red deck, maybe they're more aggressive. I see a blue deck, they're going to be maybe more control. Purple, like will be debuffs. You have similar concepts in like games like Magic. And it actually feels like we're going to have more of a control deck than we would have previously had. There were kind of some elements of control in certain decks, but like with this now, okay, if I play a blue deck, and if similar blue decks like Cosmos has a forced tie mechanic, then you can kind of play it nice and slow. You can't lose turn 3 as long as you hit your boost card. Then you set up for maybe a bigger turn 4, turn 5, and you kind of just like, you can't like go all in with an aggro rush of Orb or Taigo or Ghost of Blue if your opponent's able to force a tie. And, if they do it from hand and you burn all your resources, then it's going to be a very easy game for them to take it.
Yeah, that's for sure. I'm excited to see what happens. I think the one thing that I would really like them to clarify for colors personally is if there's going to be like a limit on colors in your deck, or if they're going to say, hey, make it rainbow. You can do whatever you want. And I'm hoping they let us make it rainbow, and then it's just more like, oh, hey, we printed a new boost card and it's 3 reds. So if you want to be playing how this super strong card, you better be playing mostly red cards. You know what I'm saying?
I think how we've seen the game designed so far, they'll probably allow it to be rainbow. And I mean, for example, a lot of the boost cards we've seen so far are still tied to a character, just like scenes. So if you're going to play Ultraman and you want to get value out of the Fuji scene, you kind of have to play a lot of red cards. If you play like, because remember, the core cards I think you see in a deck, like the level 1 draws, the scene searches, they are not colors; they are colorless.
Yeah.
So you need to play kind of these red vanilla cards.
Yeah, you can see that here.
So
these do not have the colored border,
which is like a nice change of pace from today. It's like spam and fill in as many rare cards as you can, because those are the strong ones. But like, okay, now I have to play a level 1 vanilla Ultraman. I have to play a level 2 vanilla Ultraman, which is arguably a little easier when a set first comes out, because they don't really have a lot of other characters to work with. But you can't do Ultraman G and have Ultraman be a minor character, because you're not going to have the red cards you need. Well,
right.
Unless you only play uncommons, which would be a very interesting deck building.
Yeah, it'll mix up the deck building a lot, I think. I'm going to say something, but that was kind of a bait question. I know that they're not going to let us, they're not going to restrict us to colors for a few reasons. One is I think it kind of goes against this like design philosophy, which is like play whatever you want. Like we do take it from like a more competitive standpoint, and we want to like find the best combinations or the best deck builds. But like fundamentally, it's a character game. You want to play the heroes you like, and even if it's like maybe not the best combination, I don't think Super wants us to have a game where he said, no, you can't play these two characters together, or like you can't play this squad together, whatever it is. Play tricolor, play all 3 people that you want. Like I think that's the goal. But the real reason why I don't think there will be a color restriction is because of Tio and his color changing forms. So I think it's going to specifically be a rainbow deck.
Yeah, no. Imagine if you have characters like Tio who can have multiple colors via their different vanillas. Now you're going to be looking at cards not just for their like raw power, but this is a purple card. I need more purple cards in my deck to make this boost card work. Right now we're only really going to have like these monocolor decks pretty early on. It'll be a little tricky to probably get a lot of duels, but in the future you might have a boost card that needs both a red and a blue, and it's really strong, but now you actually have to set all of this stuff up, and it might make up for the lack of rares and triple rares you'll be playing otherwise, because you need this color setup as an alternate win condition.
Yeah, I do think that we'll probably see like only like monocolors, mostly because like it's going to be hard to like get a lot of boosts off in a game, and so it feels like the immediate, let's say, paradigm would be that you pair a character that's been very strong with a new boost character, so you get a little bit of the color for the boost cards, but then you also have like the kind of solid strategy from whatever. But you mentioned alternate win conditions. I would love it if Ultraman Tio is our first alternate win condition. It's a 5-cost boost. It's 1 of every color, and you just win the game. Something like that.
I think those will be really interesting, and I mean, arguably even balanced, because like if you're trying to, that's a lot of vanilla cards you're kind of squeezing in. I mean, there will be some triple rares that have colors, like the Ultraman triple rare from the starter deck will be red.
Yeah.
Oh, but you can't flip the top card as part of a payment cost. So yeah, you're going to be stuck with vanilla cards to pay your mana cost for a while.
Yeah. It'll be fun. It'll be interesting, and looking forward to seeing how it comes into play. Are there any decks that you're specifically looking forward to trying with boost, like just off rip, even though we haven't seen that much about it?
I think I think it's really going to come down to the boost cards more than anything. Because if I'm only looking at the mechanics, like here, like the Ultraman Triple R, the only Triple R from Ultraman we've really seen is kind of neat. Like, okay, it's a plus 2,000 on play, but by itself, the card is not as impressive compared to maybe other Triple Rs. I mean, it is from a starter deck, but when you compare it with the boost effects, then it really comes together.
Yeah.
So it'll come down to, well, right now it's really just force tie or a double BP up, and Ultraman's is not tied to a specific hero. It's any Ultra hero, so I can definitely see maybe you bring back Ken Sato and you bring back a single 19k, or you
Crazy.
play
That works because
this
that effect only works on double or triple,
exactly.
right?
Yes, that is correct. So you can
I
force
can't look up the cards list.
yeah, but yes, that is Ken Sato is a double or triple. So that would
That's
mean
really funny.
you could play Ultraman and Ken Sato double Ultraman deck, and you play these 19k singles off a boost. And if you're playing against Kaiju, you just build a triple and you just have a natural 19k. So you might actually see like cards that have really high end singles, or like stuff like Decker who like have maybe what do you call it, BP pluses off of singles as level 3s. Then you'll have a lot more value of the boost.
Yeah.
But you can't play too many Deckers because then you're not going to have the mana cost to pay for your boost.
Yeah. I think one of the things that we didn't touch on, I wanted to touch on a little bit earlier, was that one of the big, I guess, like paradigms we've had in the Ultraman card game so far is that Ultraman build triples, and they're very strong when they build triples, but Kaiju are very strong as singles or doubles. But the boost cards needing level up fodder, if you will, that doesn't work well if you're just playing like 5 kings. You're not building, like, you're getting a strong single card, but you're not building for boost. And that is going to be a really interesting change in that kind of dynamic, because we're really incentivized to build triples to get boost material now.
And actually, we did already see that Jugular is getting a purple color. So you can't build just singles, like unless they have very cheap boost cards. Like we've seen 3-cost boosts, which are fairly powerful, like double straight up, a force tie. But a Jugular should probably be able to afford a 1 or even a 2 boost costing card. And that card fodder, even if it's something like giving a Kaiju a single PP grade up, or giving like a plus 2,000 to any Kaiju, those can be very helpful in turn games.
Yeah. All right. I think. Do you have any thoughts before I close us out real quick?
It just really excited seeing what characters we're getting. So we have Ultraman, we have Cosmos, we have a Jugular. That'll be 3 colors. What will Jeed be? What color will Tiga be? Or will they even add these characters for a while? Because I think they're already pretty strong.
Yeah.
It seems like we might be getting some support for characters who haven't had as much stuff in a while, like Jugular.
Maybe a Hikari.
Maybe a Hikari. Maybe Mebius will have a red deck, and then Hikari will be blue and mix things up.
That'll be fun. Okay, so I'm going to leave you all with some food for thought, some interactions that we kind of, I can't remember if we know or we think we know. If you are playing Gaia Ghoul and you play boost and you bounce a top card, that card should be face up because you need to have a face up top card. So there are ways to gain back boost resources in a way. That's a thing. Think about that. Maybe we can do that. Dyna might get a boost from this, being able to add extra boosts that like from the top of your deck. That's a pretty powerful thing we could potentially be doing. And then I think the deck that is going to get the craziest and probably have the most insane rulings will be Blazar Garan. So this is like my #1 pick. So this is food for thought, right? Because you'll notice we've got sideways cards up the top right there because they've lost the battle. Now, if you lost a battle and they're sideways and you boost them, they are now face down sideways cards underneath your characters, which is how Blazar Garan pays for all its effects. So you can like use charge effects without using charge now. It's just like crazy.
Yes, I think the tricky part will be if they don't give Blazar or Garan a boost card, because you would still need like for Ultraman, you would need to have an Ultraman on the. Well, it would be good to clarify the exact ruling when we get.
Yeah, I like to clarify for sure, but the way that it's worded, it says face down sideways cards. If you've lost the battle and you use those cards to boost,
specifically
they will be face down sideways.
Like if I don't what part of the card effect is the cost versus like what sequence you pay it?
Mm,
Like, can I just flip 3 cards over and be like, well, I don't have an Ultraman, I can't use Fuji, but I've
oh,
charged
yeah,
by
yeah.
flipping 3 cards, if that makes
That would be very interesting. And then you also have to remember that you can create boost out of nowhere with Scar by leveling up and then suddenly having an extra boost material there. And then when you use that one, it'll at the end of turn your guy will go away and it'll flip back up. So there's like Blizzard Arena has a lot of shenanigans that could be coming down the pipeline. I'm very excited to see what it's going to be like. Um, and yeah, that's my top pick. That's my final thought for you. Think big, my friends, and we'll see you in the next one.